Welcome to episode 6 of the Species Profile series. Today, with a special guest, we're going to be talking about the angelfish. Now, you might or might not have heard of Lazarus the fish boy. He's a fellow fish enthusiast from down under, and along with him, today we're going to give you some tips on how to keep angelfish and just a general background trivia, like usual, on how angelfish are kept and where they're from. But don't just take my word for it.
G'day everyone, how's it going? I'm Lazarus, you can call me Laz. Thanks so much Moss and Wood for having me on this channel, and today Moss and Wood asked me to talk a bit about angelfish, kind of if they're a good beginner fish, that sort of thing, kind of cover a couple topics along this way. So thanks so much for joining us today, and with that said, let's dive straight in.
Pterophytum sclerae, commonly called the freshwater angelfish, is a species of cichlid. You heard me right, cichlid, native to the Amazon basin. And I know they don't look like it, but they are in fact an actual species of cichlid. And they look really great. They come in many different colors, shapes, and sizes.
Alright, now angelfish are a very popular tropical aquarium fish. You see them in so many aquascapes and planted aquariums and just large community aquariums. But are they actually a community fish? Now let's first of all cover the pros and cons of angelfish, and then we'll go to a summary of what sort of level of fish keeping these angelfish require, and sort of setup you'll need to get started.
Now, angelfish are one of those fish that look really good in any kind of planted aquarium. They're quite graceful and they look really pretty. So, that's one pro of keeping them. Also, angelfish are quite hardy once settled in. If you get them as a baby, you might have some trouble getting them acclimatized to new conditions. But if you buy semi-adults or just big adults, they're perfect. As soon as you put them in, they're up and running and pretty active in the aquarium.
The pros of angelfish are obviously they are very hardy. They're a nice bulky fish. Once they get really big, they tend to be able to cope with a variety of water parameters. They do like softer water though, as they do come from Amazonian waters in the basin basically. And yeah, they're basically been captively bred, a lot of the species, in softer water, so we do like to keep that pH at about 6 to 7.
Angelfish also like relatively warm water. Not too hot, not above 28 degrees Celsius, but not too cold either, around 25 to 27. Since they're from the Amazon River, they also like a relatively densely planted aquarium, so it's quite easy to set up a tank for them. Just chuck in some Velocinaria and let it grow mad.
Second pro is that they are very easy to feed. As they get bigger mouths, and yeah, once they get to about that 5 to 6 centimeter size and onwards, it's pretty easy to feed them basically anything. You can feed them pellets, flakes, live foods, frozen foods, really anything. There's nothing that really is too big to fit in their mouths, so you can easily find at your local fish stores.
I just feed these angelfish regular fish food. They seem quite happy with it, and occasionally I treat them with something like bloodworms or brine shrimp. So, angelfish breeding is also extremely easy to do, and even Laz thinks so. So, let's hear it from him.
Now the third and final pro, of course there's some other pros out there, but these are like my main 3 pros, is that angelfish are super easy to breed. Like, there's really no science towards it. All you need is a male and female, have them in the same tank, and they're basically going to breed. They are an egg-laying fish, and they are going to spawn on leaves of the plants or the side of the glass, any flat surface really that they can easily deposit the eggs and fertilize them and that sort of thing.
It's not too hard to tell the gender of angelfish either. You can look up some videos online. I'm sure there'll be a few that are useful. I'm pretty sure even Lazarus made one, so you can go check that out. I'll link it in the description. Now, before I move on to Lazarus's cons, I've got a few of my own. Firstly, angelfish, though they seem like a nice graceful fish, as you can see here, are quite aggressive, even to their own kind. It takes a little while for them to get used to each other, and sometimes males fight to the point where they rip each other's fins up. So, in my advice, when you're picking angelfish, make sure you either try and pick a male and female, or you pick like younger fish so that they can take some time to get used to each other, and make sure you provide a bit of hiding space. I'll get to my other cons in a bit, but first let's hear from Lazarus.
Alright, now let's talk about the cons. Now I've got 3 cons. The first one is they require space. Angelfish get to about that 15 centimeter mark in total. Not always, but that's including their fins as well, which can take up a lot of that length, of course. Now, they're also a very tall fish, so they need a tall aquarium too. They get about, I say, 10 to 15 centimeters tall. You can see their pectoral fin and their dorsal fin. Oh, they get massive, so they do require space, and that's something you need to have. And if you're gonna have like more than one, then you're gonna need lots of space, lots of different territories for the angelfish to make. Because leading to the next point, they are very aggressive fish. They're not angels. They do not act like angels. I don't know why they call them angelfish. They do look like angels, but they don't act like it. So they are very aggressive fish.
Yeah, so now on to my cons. First of all, like Les said, they get quite big, and this is not over like a 5 or 6 year period. Within 3 years of having your angelfish, they're already huge and demand much more food and a lot more attention. Also, on top of being aggressive, angelfish are actually very sensitive to other fish like fin nippers. Because of the long fins that give them their name, they're super sensitive to fungal infections and all other kinds of fin rot when a fish bites off a chunk of their fin. So, when you're keeping a bunch of angelfish together, it's best to keep them in a species-only tank. Yeah, so that's about all the problems I have with angelfish. They're not like a horrible fish that you should stay away from, but they're not too bad either.
Alright, in summary, I reckon angelfish are intermediate fish. I don't reckon they're for beginners just because they are a larger fish, and most beginners don't start off with a 30-gallon or 40-gallon setup or much bigger. Some people do, of course. A lot of people do, but most people don't. They start with maybe like a 5-gallon or a 10-gallon. No, angelfish are definitely something to consider as you get more serious into the hobby, if you do. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much, Moss on Wood, for having me on your channel. Really appreciate it. Hope you all have a fantastic day.
Thanks a lot to Lazarus for coming on the channel. It's been really great having him here, and he's got some awesome insights on angelfish. I really hope you go check out his channel. He's got some amazing videos and they're really worth checking out. Anyway, I really hope this video helped you learn something new, and I really hope you liked it. Thanks for watching.